to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina, coming to you from Burner Cigar Studios. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner's Cigar. Go by Birkdale Village and also Denver and Highway 16 and tell them that Joe sent you. Your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We've been doing this for going on, we're rubbing right up against 12 years, and we have over 923 people that we have interviewed, small business owners and community leaders. We have 743 videos that we have on our YouTube channel. Go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Again, Joe Vagnone Business Broker, and we've got a YouTube channel, and we've got just tons of information on there. They've got it all separated out for you, and we hope that you will subscribe to our channel as well. We are live on the book, live on the tube, live on X, and live on the chain. For those of you that don't know Joe Talk, that is live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on X, and live on LinkedIn. And we'll be happy to take your questions on Facebook, and Julie is there to field those, and I will try and answer them if you want to ask me a question there. Again, this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And if you listen to the show at all, you know that every month we have a brand new co-host, and this month it is Tamara. I don't want to mispronounce your name or the company name. You know, I'm a little tricky with that kind of stuff.
It's a tricky.
If you would please do it so that you can do it properly, I would appreciate that.
Sure. Tamara Rabenold with Vodra International.
Vodra. What is Vodra?
So we are private investigators that specialize in intellectual property investigations. So that's brand protection. That's working with global corporations, brands that are in pretty much any room in your home, in your pocket, in your purse, in your car, protecting their intellectual property, their trademarks, their patents, the things that make them identifiable and unique.
And so for those of you that don't know what she just said, let me sum it up to you. If you go to the Target and you wonder how in the world can they be selling that Nike shirt for $2, they're not. And you're going to go catch the person that ended up selling them that. Do I got that right?
That's right. That's right.
You also help small business people to make sure that their property is protected. Talk a little bit about that and some of that stuff, because for us small business people, it's tricky and it's even harder to actually defend it. So I want to make sure people that are listening kind of get where you are. Now you're going to have to talk down to us. You understand? You can't. You're going to have to be careful with.
I think
with the
you
detail.
Underestimate the intelligence of your audience. Joe.
Okay, I meant me. Okay.
All right. Well, then maybe. Well, so, I mean, as investigators, the first step for any, and this actually kind of gets into the article that I brought, but really when it comes to making sure your intellectual property is protected, a lot of people just think of like my logo, my company name, my business name, my podcast name, like all of those things, that is your intellectual property. And so it's really important to make sure that it is registered. And that would be with the United States Trademark and Patent Office. There's a number of different things that you can look at. And again, I'll mention it in the article, but really it's making sure that things are protected. And as investigators, we can help guide people on things to look for. When we're conducting investigations, you already have your intellectual property protected, and you need an attorney that would actually help do the registration process for you.
Okay. I have a note from the last time you were on the show that I didn't ask you this question, so now I get to ask it now.
Oh, boy.
Should I go to you first before I decide what I need to do, or should I go to an attorney first? Who should I see first if I'm a small business and I want to protect my interests?
Well, really, I mean, there is a do-it-yourself component to this where you can just kind of educate yourself. If you've got a new business name or a new, like, oh man, this is the best name for a widget ever, search on uspto.gov. There's a free trademark search tool.
Say that again.
uspto.gov.
Okay, because you said that like all of us knew that website existed.
United States Trademark and Patent Office. Yes, sorry. But so really, you can always, an attorney is very likely going to give you some kind of free consultation. Us as investigators, I'll point you in the right direction and say, okay, here's some things to look at and to consider, and even kind of help you those baby steps of we don't want you, there's a lot to think about when you're starting a new business or you have a new idea and you're super excited to get it out there. It's just okay, wait a minute. You just need to take a minute to make sure before you get this idea out, broadcast to the world, that you've protected it and kind of put some safeguards in place.
I'm looking on your website. Something that really surprised me is counterfeit investigation. How do you do that? I wasn't aware that you did that.
Mm-hmm. So, counterfeit goods, fakes, knockoffs, dupes. Even the kids in middle school and high school are talking about them. There's now a dupe culture that's really hot on social media where it's, people are knowingly buying and showcasing their counterfeits.
Really?
Yes.
So how do you guys get involved in that?
So usually a brand will come to us, or their outside counsel, their attorney will come to us and say, okay, we have this issue on whatever platform, be it eBay, Amazon, Walmart, TikTok, social media. Who is this guy? What are they selling? Guy or gal? Whomever, whatever. What are they selling? Is it real? Is it fake? What are the steps we need to do to try to protect ourselves and kind of get to the heart of the issue? How big are they? Is it something worth pursuing? Is it harmful to the public? It's all of those things that come into play with a counterfeit investigation.
Okay. Now, you're not allowed to come on a show unless you bring something, to talk about. So when we go to break, when we come back, you've got something that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And I want to let you know, you're sitting next to the son of one of my favorite people on the planet. So when we come back, we might kind of poke at his dad just a little bit as well. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I'm talking with Tamara, and we will find a way to pick on. Most of you who listen to this radio station should know Brad Roche. So we're going to find a way to pick on him in front of his son just a little bit when we come back. Why? Because I can. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Take it away, Joe. See, most of us small business people, we don't dig into this stuff.
Well,
we just wait till somebody calls us and says, you got to stop using the name, and we change the name to something else.
It's just like anything when you're in a specialty and you take for granted those little things that you think people know, just like if you're in mortgage lending.
I've just learned when a client needs your service, they really need it, right? And then you're like, oh gosh, I have no idea who does that.
Well, and the thing is that, maybe some people know private investigators, some people don't, but as a private investigator, I can certainly also give tips on that whole world. And making sure that even if we're not the right kind of private investigator for your particular situation, can hook you up with somebody that...
I don't think we're going to talk about today, but we're definitely going to talk about that because I hired a private investigator when I made a major, major mistake. I invested in that online business, Amazon business. Turned out to be a nightmare. Had to hire a private investigator. Best money ever spent, though. I learned a lot. So we'll definitely talk. We won't have time today, but we'll do it during the month. And you'll be able to, you'll enjoy my story and you can pick on me.
No doubt.
That's right. Joe, we ready?
We got about a minute. Hey,
Joe's running around like there's a problem. You know, he looking a little nervous up there.
Well, you said you guys lost power earlier today, or they lost power here. Oh.
All right, we got about a minute.
It poured in Huntersville.
Yeah.
So-
It was like a shower earlier today. I was like, whoa. Like, I hadn't seen it rain that hard. It's raining sideways.
This morning, and during segment,
Wow.
Was it his connection?
All I can tell
Didn't
you
you
is
say
you're
he was a
going
pastor?
live right now because Julie said you look gorgeous.
Oh.
And she likes your pendant, she said.
Oh, thanks. Barbados. That's where I got that one. Fingers crossed. Legs crossed. Toes. Yes.
Don't worry. Anything goes wrong, we blame it on Joe. Anything goes wrong, we blame it on Joe.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
10 seconds. Okay, here we go. Music in 3, 2.
Yeah. Number one live talk business show in North Carolina, coming to you from Burner Cigar Studio. Great people, premium cigars, life is good. Go buy Burner Cigars in Brookdale Village and also in on Denver Highway 16. Tell them Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, and I'm speaking with the CEO of Vodra International.
Yes.
You are a licensed private investigator, but you specialize in
Intellectual property investigations and brand protection.
Tamara, thank you so much. We've known each other for years.
Yes.
So I kind of know what you do, but it's only in the pieces as I might need something or a client needs something.
Right.
So I appreciate you being here all month.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me.
So like I said before the break, you are sitting next to one of my favorite people. His name is Jacob Roche. Jacob, your dad, I don't think most people know this, but your dad, Brad, is the one who got me into the whole radio gig. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I think he was telling me a little bit
he
about
was
that
bragging.
a long
He was
time
bragging.
back. Yeah.
He's trying to say that my 12 years is on his back. Is that what he's trying to say?
Maybe a little bit there.
That might be true, actually. Jacob, thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk with you and your dad in a little bit, but I wanted you to sit in on this. Feel free to jump in and say anything you want about what Tamara's getting ready to talk about.
Will do.
And be warned that we might make fun of you, but that's what we do here. You understand?
Yeah, will do. Thanks.
Okay. So Tamara, take it away. What are we going to talk about?
Okay. So I've mentioned intellectual property. We short name that IP. We're always using that acronym, or
Okay.
IPR, intellectual property rights.
Okay.
So of course I brought
Is it
an
going to be a
article.
test? Am I going to have to remember that?
No.
IPR. Okay.
IP. Just think about it.
IP.
So brought an article that was published on entrepreneur.com related to 4 intellectual property mistakes startups make and how to avoid them.
Perfect. I'm ready.
That's what I was hoping for. So first of all, if you want to think about intellectual property and you need to know what that is, it's patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. And there are different ways to protect each of them. This is just kind of an overview of thinking about, okay, so I have this great business, what are those screw ups that you do right out of the gate that you're trying to avoid?
So now I don't want to slow you down here, but go through each one of those quickly just so they know exactly what each one of them are. So in their mind's eye, as they're driving in their car right now on I-77, they can stay with it mentally.
Sure. Okay, so a trademark would be Coca-Cola. That's a word mark. If you think about Coca-Cola and they're kind of like their little design,
Right.
touch the mic. that is like that's their design mark. And so they have a combined design mark and the word mark. And a lot of brands like the Nike swoosh, that's their design mark.
Got it.
And Nike. Copyrights, that's books, that's music.
So Nike would have two. They would have one for their name and then one for the swoop.
They have a lot more than two, but yes,
right.
yes. And
Okay.
also used separately and used together.
Okay.
So
Got it.
because then you can break it up and use it across a whole bunch of different things in different ways.
Got it.
So copyrights, that's music, that's drawings. I actually, kind of funny, a friend of mine who I got to know through like literally church choir in middle school. She wrote a book, Do You Draw Pictures? Or she wrote a book, Do You Draw Pictures, to help teach her children about intellectual property because crazily enough, she went into, her name is Becky Lee, but she went into, she was in the media world and then she circled back around and got into brand protection, intellectual property, became an attorney, went to law school, and then had kids and was like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of like all of these things that, you know, when a child makes up a song or draws a picture, like that's a great, like, that's such a basic way of thinking about intellectual property. Something, your creative juices flowing.
You did
creating
that. You
something.
created that. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes. So we talked about trademarks, copyrights. Patents are designs. That's the chemical makeup of Coca-Cola, for example. I'm a Georgia girl, so I'm a Coca-Cola girl.
I got it.
So that would be patents, and then trade secrets are those confidential, like information that's behind the scenes in a company that you also want to protect.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I know that was small time for you, but I needed that in my mind. That was good. That was good.
Happy to.
You're not the only one, Joe. I
That's
knew that too.
Well,
See, that's a college boy saying. I just want you to be aware of that. Okay, I'm not alone here.
So first, mistake number one, making wrong assumptions about IP ownership. So you and your buddy sit down, having a drink after work, and you start writing this great idea on a napkin. Like, who owns that idea? You guys decide to start a business together. Who owns the ideas? Who owns what? So, like, you can't assume that you own it. Like, if you hire somebody to design something for you, you can't assume, like, and of course, there are business contracts and
I know
things.
Brad would steal it from me. I'm positive of that.
There you go.
I'm positive, yeah.
I mean, maybe he already has, and he's got something going on the side, and you don't even know about it.
That's my mic on.
So that's the biggest thing. And so, really, it's like all about documentation. Like, you've got this great idea, and people come to us and they're like, oh, I had this great idea. Started sending out brochures and started sending out stuff about this idea he had, this product. He doesn't remember when he started sending it out. He doesn't remember, and now there's somebody else that's doing something very similar. He can't prove that he did it first. He can't prove that it's his original idea.
Got it.
Documentation.
Okay, got it.
Even if you think the idea sucks, at least you'll have the documentation and you can scrap it later and then go back to the next one.
I'll give Brad that credit for the bad idea. Your daddy gets bad ideas all the time.
So mistake number two, adopting a do-it-yourself approach. Because yes, there are certain things you can do on the front end to just kind of make sure you're savvy and you kind of lock in those ideas. But don't let LegalZoom or, some of those different entities out there, or AI, it's a whole nother thing, create your contracts for you. You need to think about that intellectual property, if it's anything that's between employees, like you and your employee agreements, that kind of thing, who may be in your business creating things, doing things for you, who owns what is coming out of that, and making sure that you do more than just DIY it.
Right. Okay. Got it. So that's funny you say that, because I can remember years ago when I started my brokerage business, I took a legal contract and put my name at the top of it and thought I was perfectly okay to do it. Lo and behold, I'm at a closing with the attorney that wrote that contract up. And he said, Joe, you're going to have to stop using this. It's a contract that I made up. And so you'll run into it every day.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and certainly now too with AI and people, that's a whole nother conversation, but the copyrighted content.
That'll be next week. We'll dig into that. Yeah.
So we'll skip on to like mistake number 3 is skipping the simple steps that could help solve the IP problems, which is going to uspto.gov, doing a search of Wiley's widgets, seeing if somebody already has that registered within the United States. Because if they did and you get huge, well, there's gonna be an issue. It's the same thing if you go to the Secretary of State's website for North Carolina, if you're gonna file your corporation and you start searching business names, well, it's gonna start popping up the things that you can't register because there's already one registered. Going to the USPTO is just another spot to check and one that is giving you now a national view of what has been registered. And just because it's not in there, it doesn't mean that it may not still exist somewhere, but it's a good like double check. And of course, also going on social media, like going to GoDaddy.com, doing your search. We love Name Checker, CHEKR.com. If you ever want to try something.
Say both of those again, because I know Julie's listening. She's going to put it on Facebook.
Okay.
So say them again.
So like Name Checker, NAMECHECKR.com. That is a great one-stop shop for, I type in Vodra.com and it's starting to run Vodra, or sorry, not Vodra.com. That's our website. Vodra, it is going to check all the different social media channels, like all of the different places, the different .ca, .net, to see if Vodra is already taken across those different places. So that's another good way, because if all of a sudden...
Julie's got that on Facebook.
All right, if all of a sudden social media is really important to you, you want to make sure that I'm going to be able to get the handles I need on the X, the link, the chain, all of the things, the book.
You get in the groove. You get in the groove here. That's good. That's good. Jacob, that shows, when she can talk down to me, that shows she's intelligent.
Yeah,
you understand that?
Exactly. I agree.
This is the stuff I love. So, I mean,
I can tell you are
world.
so passionate about this. I absolutely get it. And that's why I tell you to slow down, because so many of us, we don't see this in every day. And for us, it becomes a problem way down the road for us. It's one of these areas where people say, I don't want any surprises. It's always a surprise when this happens. And so that's why you're here. I want people to hear this. Go to these places, check this stuff out. And if they don't know, they need to pick up the phone and call you. And that's the next thing I want to have. How can they reach you?
So Vodra.com, VAUDRA.com. We're on LinkedIn. We're on all of the channels.
And how old is your company? It's been around for a while.
22.
Yeah,
You
don't look that old. You understand?
Well, and I've been with the company. I've been with the company 21 years.
Wow.
So almost since inception, and it was a lot of fun. Another like intellectual property, just rock star Taylor Swift. We did Feelin' 22 last month, since we did turn 22 with a very much Taylor Swift inspired. All of the fun things to celebrate our anniversary.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's take a break and we come back. Okay. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. We come back. You are going to talk with one of my favorite people of all times. And I like picking on him too. Your business matters. Be right back. So now your camera changes.
Okay.
Right? Your camera will change. But you are still live. You are still a co-host. You are still part of this conversation. Just because you're sitting there, don't feel like you can't ask a question. Now, I might be looking towards them, so just say Joe, and I hear often that nobody gets to talk because Joe's always talking. It's radio, so I'm like trying to make sure there is no dead space.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well, and if there is an opportunity, I want to mention another useful tool.
So let's do that before we introduce them when we come back. Okay?
You want both of them in frame?
Say what?
Both of them in frame?
Not this segment. Just Brad. We're going to try and give you a short.
Okay.
Say something
Something.
interesting, inspiring, and, spectacular.
No problem. Keep the sandals out of this shot.
It's still raining?
It's raining.
We were here last week.
Oh, it's better.
I didn't want to go out in the rain, so I lit a cigar on that porch. That porch is perfect for smoking a cigar right there.
Oh, okay.
All I need is some rocking chairs. Where you want me? I got no clock here. Tamara, that was great.
Oh, good.
That was really good.
good. I'm so glad.
I mean, I was able to keep up with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Your biz matters.
Julie says it's not raining in Mooresville. It is in Statesville. It is in Statesville. Where are you living at now?
Mooresville.
Where?
Mooresville.
You are in Mooresville?
Off Perth.
Where do you live now? You still live in Cornelius?
Same place I've been
I thought you were
22
selling
years.
that.
Off of Torrance Chapel.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
Hey, you got a nice house over there.
My wife is dying to move to the mountains. She
Yeah.
loves fly fishing.
What mountains?
Choose second home.
Bavard area,
Oh, okay.
Hendersonville, somewhere out that
Cherokee
way.
area, right?
I'm not a real
Casino.
fan of looking at trees.
Oh.
So for me, I told her we got to be on a river,
That's fair.
you know.
I mean, that seems
Like I got to have some water. I mean,
seems fair.
I agree with
Do you
it.
have a boat?
yeah, I'm on a lake now. At least give me some water, you
Yeah.
know. And here's some trickling or something going by me, you know.
Fill the bathtub.
Something. I mean, like, we'll rent a place, and she's like, "Isn't that view beautiful?" And I'm like, "The trees, they always look the same to me. I mean, nothing changes. I don't get it.
That's
Just
fair.
ain't my thing. You're a lake person, you're a mountain person, you're a beach person.
You're a little
I guess I'm a lake person. Who knew? Okay, how much time we got, Joe? Because this feels like forever. Such a spectacular show. We have so many commercials.
There's a lot, right? You got to wait every 5 minutes. That's doing the recording. You can pop right through. We'll knock a show an hour. We were doing 45 minutes,
Oh yeah.
and they plug the
Yeah.
commercials in later.
Your daddy was a master of getting sponsors.
I know. Yeah, he told me all about
I
it.
ain't now,
Had
man.
the show
You still
paid
got
for.
that coming? I
We cut a lot of it.
He was making money off the radio
Yeah.
show when I was there.
I remember it was cash flow there.
We were cash flow.
I thought it was a great idea.
It is.
Cash flow. True.
He bought an hour on the station, and then he was selling sponsorships at 15-minute spots. When it's all
Fantastic.
over with, he was making more than the radio station was making.
We had
Of
50,
course, that's probably why you got in
56.
trouble with them. They got mad at you.
Warren quit, man. He was done doing real estate. They ain't get mad. Entrepreneur.
20 seconds.
Those are the good old days
Yeah, right?
back
Am I
there.
okay with my
Brad
new
and
little
Chris
seated
and them.
position here?
Perfect.
Okay.
Can I just
All right.
reset the camera for you? If
Okay.
you want to just pull that mic a little bit.
You good? She's afraid to mess with it because you said I was
mean,
going
you
to
did
break
have
it.
that
You're
whole.
not allowed to mess with it. Here we go. 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We've been talking to Tamara. Tamara is the CEO and owner of,
Vodra.
Vodra. Why can't I say that?
I don't
'Cause
know.
the way
You don't speak
spell
French.
That's right, Vodra. Because the way it spells Vaudra, it just kind of misses for me.
Well, it is a French, it's a very loose conjugation of the French verb valoir, which is to be worth, and we protect the worth of brands. So I didn't come up with the name. That's where it came from.
Right.
So people, it's a constant struggle with people saying, and it is on our website now how to say it because we do have that issue. Vodra.
Your website is also on our on WSIC Facebook, but remind them what your website is.
Vodra.com, VAUDRA.com.
And you wanted to add something to your list before we went to break?
So I found this today as I was preparing for the show and just thought this was amazing. So there is another big organization. It's the World Intellectual Property Organization. And they have a IP diagnostic tool. So if you're a business that's like, well, this is really interesting, I still have no idea what we're talking about here. They have a diagnostic tool that's free. It's a self-assessment, and it kind of gives you some other like food for thought. So WIPO's website is WIPO.int. And I could probably shoot this website to Julie if that would be
Say that
helpful.
one more time.
WIPO.int.
Okay.
And it's their IP diagnostic.
Okay.
And it starts kind of that thought process. Like, have you developed a product, process, or service that you consider new, innovative, or unique? Do you generate materials such as manuals, pamphlets? Do you feature patterns, lines, colors to make your packaging more unique? So all these things to kind of start thinking about what IP could mean for you and your business.
And if there's any reason why Tamara's on the show, you now know she is detailed, she is exceptional. Please give her a call or contact her. She can help you with this stuff. And Julie has just put that on WSIC Facebook page as well. Thank you, Tamara.
Great. You're so welcome.
And so now, because you've done me that great favor of giving me that information, I am going to do you the favor of introducing the most favorite person in my life, Brad Roche. Brad Roche is with Element Home Loans, and he is, most of you should know him from WSIC, the mortgage planner. Brad, my friend, thank you for being here, buddy.
Good to be back, brother.
So when people say, why do you keep saying Brad, you're like favorite person?
Thought it was
don't know.
It was a little extra this show, but I still like it. I like it still.
I don't know why I like
I was
you.
waiting for somebody else to come in the door. Like, who's he introducing? I'm glad to be here, man.
We met each other smoking cigars 15 years ago.
It's been a minute.
And it does feel like we grew our kids up, talking about and making fun of the kids and that sort of stuff over cigars. And
we did our first show like together years ago. You making jokes like I set you up.
That's right.
I just did a couple shows with you, and you stole the mic. You stole my chair. I come back in a month later, and things change, and I'm like, Joe's in charge. I see how this goes. My show was called The Plan. Obviously, you had a good one going. You run it.
I had no plan.
No plan worked really good. Congratulations on all the interviews and stats you shared.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So those of you that don't know, Brad introduced me to WSIC and to the radio. I'd never been on radio in my life. You had a show at the time. It was a phenomenal show talking about mortgages and real estate. Who was your partner back then?
Warren Greenlee with Remax.
I loved listening to that show. You guys were just, two people that just absolutely knew the market inside and out. Somebody could call and you could talk about whether it's a mortgage or a home or it was just great. And then when you asked me on the show, I had spent like 2 days planning and getting all the information together. I was a nervous wreck. I'd never been on the radio. And the time burned by. I don't think I looked at any of my notes as we talked about it. Next thing I know, WSIC is asking me to be on the show, and here we are 12 years later. So you're the man. You put me into the radio business.
Very cool. It's neat now. We're full circle. COVID hits. We stopped doing the show for a bit. Warren is flying planes and some real estate, and just priorities change. And now I get to do the show. We've done a show together. We've recorded several shows, including Mortgage Planner University, Jacob and I, where, I got 30 years, hundreds of properties bought.
Right.
He's bought his first one. He's buying his second one. And it's like, let's get that together in about 6 hours of packed content. And it's free just to learn how to buy a house right. It's pretty cool.
So first of all, I want to introduce Jacob because I've been picking on him or picking on you in front of him.
I didn't know if my mic was on, what was going on. But
Jacob, my friend, you are my friend because your daddy is one of my favorite people of all time. You understand that, don't you? But one of the things I like about your dad is sort of this, he's like had 9 lives, right? Like before you were born, he was doing cool stuff. You understand, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that what I like about him, he's constantly reinventing himself and continuously moving forward. And now I watch him doing that with you guys because I see him bringing you into the fold, and I get it. Like I can tell all of the stuff that he's learned over the years. I can see it starting to rub off on you guys, right? I can tell it's happening. Walk me through the relationship you had with your dad when you just finished school and it's time to get a job. Does he say, come work with me, or do you say, Dad, I want to come work with you? How did that happen?
That's actually always what I wanted to do. So going in, even before college, I got to say I didn't really want to go. So I graduated in 3 years. And I remember last time there was a joke about, was it a 4-year or 2-year college? I graduated in 3 years in a 4-year college, right?
I know better because I already knew you were a smart dude, right? So you didn't. Right.
Don't use that joke again, man.
So I was just going to take it off right away. But no, it's always been my dream. Come and work for him. I was talking around the dinner table about loan amounts and lock-in rates and things like that. It's always been kind of fun to hear about.
So now, Brad, you talked too fast. You went over something. You guys put together a training program. Talk a little bit about
Mortgage Planner University. We got back on the show, and it's like, what a great way to record 6 hours of just what's the debt ratio? How do I do my credit score? How do I save for a down payment? Can I borrow my down payment? What's a good first price? How would you make your first offer? All of that is included in it. And then it gets into, hey, now I'm getting an LLC. I'm buying investment properties. How does that help me tax-wise? So we go all the way from A to Z, and I get to just kind of go off a little bit on experience that I've had and good moves I've made, bad moves. And he gets to talk from a perspective of, well, I'm planning on it. So you get a very good mix on that show. It's been fun.
And Jacob, I'll tell you something. I'm trying to help my nephew buy a home right now in Hickory. It's a different world from when me and your dad were growing up. I mean, Brad, you and I could, get a no-doc loan and put a couple grand down and buy a home and then get a second mortgage and do it again, right?
I wanted to share a deal with you.
Those days are gone, man.
It's interesting because our worlds are kind of colliding from the business side to the mortgage side. The programs that have opened up, share the one that we did real quick on the investor that came to us. Or actually, they were trying to buy a nail salon.
So some document or some income verification now. So we take 12 months bank statements. We add up all their deposits, divide by 12. There's their monthly income. So they didn't qualify just based on those 12 bank statements. We pulled cash out of their primary residence to go.
$400,000.
Yeah, actually,
it
was about five. And so they use that as what's called asset depletion, and they divided that by 240 months, so 20 years. And they added their bank statement income plus their asset depletion and gave them
and they're
500
approved,
grand.
Paid cash for the salon. That's out of the box thinking, or how I've been marketing it. That's our box, baby.
And now you guys get to know why he's one of my favorite people on the planet. If there's a way, Brad will find a way to make it happen. Let's take a break, guys. When we come back, we're going to dig in some more with that. You are talking with the Mortgage Planner, Brad Roche and Jacob Roche. If it is Monday afternoon, your business matters. We will be right back. Enjoy. That needs to be a little R circle with it. IP.
IP, yeah.
I got the lingo down.
Way to go.
I got the lingo.
Look at how quick you learn.
And the truth is he needs to do it because the minute it starts catching, somebody's going to jump on it and then he's going to have to change it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll also show you what else may be out there already.
So how much does that cost? Is that like expensive to do that?
It can be. It can be.
Which is why they don't do it.
Right. Which is why you have to be really, like, if you work with a good attorney and you've really thought it out, you can be very strategic about doing it the right way so that you can try to, like, okay, what's the overall strategy? You don't want to necessarily try to trademark everything, but, like, what are those key ingredients? And then make sure that you're always using that in conjunction with other things so that then you kind of have that, you have a little more broader protection.
Because I've been telling WSIC that local Biz Now is something they should have, but after 12 years, they have. And my sexy tagline, "Your business matters."
Not there, huh?
Then you have other things like
Somebody gonna
common
steal
law.
it.
There's the other piece of IP that is not what's registered, but what's already out there. And so you could still have rights
Right.
because you've used it for longer than maybe somebody else.
I can't tell them
like-
to stop it because
No.
I said that. You got that
Like
from
a
me.
it's a whole thing. And again,
10 years,
I'm not
right?
an attorney,
Needs to be
but
told.
there's the kind of things that come up in cases all the time.
Okay. You like the lights? You want me to change them? Because I'm in control here.
They're very cool.
I'm definitely in control of the lights. Might be the only thing I'm in control of. Okay. We come back, we're going to have about 9 minutes. But you already know that. 10 minutes. Why are you going to make me look bad?
I was helping you out. I just gave you an extra.
I said about.
I just gave you an extra.
Okay. He's
5
mad.
seconds.
He's mad because I normally bring him some snacks, and I forgot to bring him some snacks today. It's on the way. It's on the way I can get him work late in the afternoon.
You ain't right.
I should have bought him. I should have bought some snacks.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do. News Talk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. I'm here with my co-host, Tamara. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
And I'm also here with one of my best friends, whether he will admit it or not, Brad Roche with Element Home Loans and the Mortgage Planner. He also has brought his cohort, happens to be his son, Jacob Roche. And we were asking him what it's like working for Daddy. Take it away there, man. Good or bad? Be honest. Now, tell me the truth, because there's a lot of people just getting out of school. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's been fun. I would say it's tough sometimes.
Does he
but-
push you?
Oh yeah, he pushes me to be a lot better, which is a lot helpful. So, but it's like we've learned to like work with each other, and it feels like it's probably been better than ever, in my opinion. But yeah, he definitely pushes me to the next level for sure. Keeps me working hard.
So, Brad, you and I, we get a little bit, now you're younger than me, but, we're getting older, so we're starting to slow down. But now you can't slow down because you created a whole...
keep going.
That's right.
Gotta
you,
keep
you,
going.
You got the whole company with the kids involved, man. You got to keep building on it.
Just looking for systems and everything. That he's a lot like me, and I think Angela's worked for me with me. I said for me. I shouldn't say that. With me for 30 years now.
You should
too.
say with you because
I did.
I
That's
know.
why I corrected it.
That's right. I
That's
know
why.
what she
It's
does.
live, I know. She does all the work. I know. Right.
Just go ahead and apologize.
I'm
You didn't mean
sorry.
to say that.
She does it. She handles it. We know who the boss is. But we've done it for a long time. But you learn how to work with each other. You
Right.
learn how to use each other's strengths, and we have to learn how to communicate. You can communicate as son and dad, and it goes good. But the minute you go boss and worker and want to be partner and bringing them, that's a different scale. So we've had to learn. One thing I'll share with you, we've had to trial and error, and have our little, hey, I'm thinking this way, I'm thinking that way, and we've come to a conclusion. I'll tell you exactly how we start our day, just as any routine I would start mine. It starts with prayer in the morning between me and him for our communication and the deals we get to touch.
Right.
Set the stage for how you want to succeed. That's what we've done. That's helped a lot. Put it in the business the way you want to run.
So Jacob, I know that there's I was getting ready to say kids. I shouldn't call you a kid, right? You still a youngin',
Yeah, Joe, I'm 24 now, believe it or not.
I got a lot of gray hair now, but you're a kid, okay? But there's a lot of people out there like you at your age that have a really hard time getting started. It is not the same world. So a lot of what we knew about real estate, it's not true. It no longer works, right?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself dealing with a lot of people that are first-time buyers, or do you find yourself moving to a different level because that first-time buyer is just hard to help right now?
The first-time buyer, yeah, I help them out. There's just so much that you don't know, or like the average person doesn't know about mortgages. Like even my wife's brother, my brother-in-law, he's buying a house, and this will be his third, I believe. And he's like, "Hey, can you help me with this? Like, I don't know how do I get a better interest rate? Rates are high." And it's like there's ways around it that we can plan for it a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of first-time home buyers that I help out with, get them the best terms that we can.
Do you see the market changing and it getting easier for first-time buyers, or is we just going to have to get used to that?
It seems like they're opening up more products for first-time home buyers. So like they do grants that are like forgivable through North Carolina, and there's different programs out there that'll help them out. But yeah.
Let me tell you where his specialties kind of come in. You know, my dad brought me into business.
Yes.
So he when I came in, we were doing conventional and FHA, which are your standard products. Then it became the subprime. You've heard of it, in 2008, and bad loans and all this stuff. But there was a lot of
that's how I learned the business.
a lot of So there was zero down. There were 2-year fixed. There was a lot of different pick a payment program, and then all of them went away. And what's been interesting as these rates have moved is, especially since he started, and this has kind of become a specialty, products that have come out that are available to make people be able to get a house easier. Like an investor, as an example, you realize new product, and this is all off the different side. You don't have to have employment to buy a rental property if you have good credit, a down payment, and we're going to use the rent to qualify you. Joe, that's a different loan that wasn't even around back then. So now, how does all of that work? He's had to learn, just like I did, 20 years ago, what's an A credit, B credit? How do you do a DSCR ratio? Or
so essentially, you guys are learning together the new product.
A whole new layer that was there when I started.
I mean, I don't want to make you feel bad, but he looks like he's probably picking up on it faster than you.
He's getting it very good. I'm like, I actually said to him the other day, "Will this one work?" And yeah, it works. So why'd you ask? I was just making sure.
Yeah, I know that brain didn't come from you. I know that came from Angela. There's no question about that. So talk a little bit about this university, because it is unique, right? In other words, it gives two people a chance that I can see. Someone that's been doing it for years that wants to learn what the new market is, and somebody just getting started. Am I reading that right? The people that are interested?
From the workbook to an hour training each week, if you wanted to spread it out or do it however you want, it's 6 hours, 6 different trainings. You get a workbook with it. If you complete the course, because we want you to know and be a little smarter on making an offer, and I hope that some of that would help, you get a discount off your closing costs just for saying I finished it. So between the way you can buy a house now, we didn't have grants back then, Joe. There wasn't this 20 grand first time home buyer. There wasn't DSCR, buy a rental and qualify off the rental income. The bank statements, asset depreciation, the amount of programs that have been layered in allow people to buy, including temporary buy downs, which is not wasting your money on points you can't get refunded. But if you actually refinance, they'll refund it, and they're subsidizing your payment to 4 or 5% rates. This is all stuff that's kind of come back into the market or been reintroduced to the market. So to answer your question clearly, I would encourage someone more now than ever to buy, because the competition is less, the products are there, and the refinance discounts across the board are there. Meaning, if you buy now for 5 years, they're giving certificates for half off closing costs just to keep your business when they do drop.
Right.
There's a lot of incentives out to buy.
So, Tamara, you thought you were the only one that knew your industry. You see?
Yeah, my mind's kind of blown with all that.
We can get you approved. Go to fortheplan.com.
fortheplan.com. And Julie's got that on Facebook also. So Jacob, when we look at the future, right, of buying homes, I have a problem with investing in homes for rental, because I'm an old school guy, and I'm thinking, gosh, these things seem too expensive to me. Like it's hard to make the numbers fit. Now, I'm listening to you say, no, man, it's the same. The numbers might be bigger, but they're fitting.
Well, no, I agree with it. Like, it is like, so what I'm doing right now is I'm leasing out my primary where I live currently. I actually just got my lease signed yesterday. So renter tenant will be moving into my place, but I'm actually negative loss of $60 per month. And it's like, why would you do that? There's mainly appreciation, one, and then two, there's just so much tax benefits to it all. So investors coming in, I say you cash flow about 25% down. So like there does need to be a good bit into the deal.
I didn't know that number. Okay, that's good to know.
That's a sweet spot. rate-wise and payment-wise that seems to fit the market right now.
Yeah, exactly. So and then like 25 to about 30% down will get you best terms. But right now, no, not much cash flow. Appreciation is really where it's at. So when these rates come back down, they've been trending pretty well the past week or so, but not as much today. But when they get down to the fives, I think that's when everybody's going to get moving a little bit again.
You know, I'm seeing this trend. My son just bought a condo with his girlfriend, and it's like this 1,250 square foot townhome. And you know, I mean, there's hotel rooms bigger than that, right? whole townhome associations. I mean, huge developments. That's the future, isn't it? Is smaller space. Well, Brad, when you and I were growing up, it was, you know, the bigger the house, the better. Now, for them, they don't want all the maintenance. They don't want all of these things happening.
You see a lot of smaller yards on the new construction. Yeah. You see a lot of nice pools and HOAs that add into it. I think you're right. That is a trend. But you still have the people who want to buy in different spots, have an acre of land.
Right.
It just depends on how you're looking to build. But it is the quickest way to start building your portfolio, especially for somebody 24. Right. The appreciation, he's going to have just under $1 million in real estate, and he's able to cash flow that while he's working his butt off.
Right.
Man, and then you get into tax benefits. You got to include that in some of cash flow. How do you not?
That was the thing I was trying to talk to my nephew about. Listen, just the tax benefits alone are worth owning a home. And for some reason, Brad, most people aren't like your son. They would prefer not to own in this environment.
I think you're missing a opportunity to negotiate. You know, let's wind back to some wonderful interest rates, 3s, 4s. Okay, competition. I had $50,000 down from a client in due diligence, non-refundable,
right? No
home inspection, multiple offers. That's a crazier market. Now I have, hey, I can get this. My payment might be $150 too high, but I'm going to get $15,000 in closing costs. I can actually do a buy down. First year I'm at 4.5. The next year I'm at 5.5. Then I should go at 6.5. There are ways to plan and strategize for a market today and still capture that savings with gaining negotiation that you lose in a market that I talked about.
And so, Jacob, one of the things your dad taught me about marketing is referrals, referrals, referrals. He is a master at referrals. Have you guys been taught that from your dad as well? Is he just preaching that outside, not inside?
No, it's definitely preached inside. Dude, I have the word ask on my notepad every day. So I make sure to ask.
You know, I had my 10-year anniversary with this show, and I asked your dad to speak at the show, and the one thing I wanted him to speak about was referrals, because so many of us people in business, we forget to ask for that. Brad, is that still your main thing?
We built a business on it. It's been for 30 years. A lot of people, especially the clients you're dealing with, and they appreciate your services. How would you not like someone just like them to come along and be able to use you as well?
Right. Okay, guys. Now, Jacob, the slogan here is Your Business Matters. I'm going to let you try and end the show. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You are listening to Local Biz Now, where
Your biz matters.
Man, you gotta have more attitude than that. I mean, you gotta have more attitude.
Is it biz or business?
Yeah, it could be whatever you want.
Whichever we pick.
It could be whatever you want it to be.
Business. I
Goodness.
Tamara, thank you so much. I will see you next week.
Sounds great.
Brad Roche, I love you, buddy. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Jacob, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Even though Jacob doesn't know how to do it, we'll teach him one of these days. You know, these young ones never know. See you next week.